Assalamualaikum and greetings to Dr. Azrina. We are from Group 3. So today we're going to present about our project in software engineering. This is the list presenter of the group. The first one is me, Sharifah Ladiana binti Syed Shamsuddin with number matric CB20050 as the group leader.
My name is Nurul Atika binti Fazil Hammi. My metric number is CB20133.
My name is Wan Muhammad Zulkairi bin Wan Zahari and my number metric is CB20096.
My name is Wigwat Nalin Kiamani Anapopansom. My metric ID is CB20061.
My name is Wan Aida binti Wan Muhammad Zaini and my metric ID is CB20060.
Okay, so for our project, we choose Majlis Bandaraya Kuala Terengganu website as our case study. This website is the government-based website of the City Council. So we proceed with our project part 1. We have two individual questions, functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So for the possible functional requirement for question 4, first, user shall be able to submit any report along with the information in the report and review complaint section. Next is staff member using the system should be identified by his or her user ID that be provided by the organization to assess the system provided in MBK2 website.
The next possible functional requirement is the website shall generate regular news and notices to inform the user about the news related to MBKT website. Next is the website shall provide an online one-stop center, which is OSC.
The third functional requirement is the user should be able to search interesting places that have on the state in the visitor section, and the user should know about educational institutions that they can have around the state.
In addition to this, the website shall provide e-payment services with a decent authentication system for transactions that include tax and traffic summon payment, license renewal, utilities bills, and many more. These e-payment services will not only save time but reduce costs as the users are able to maximize these services without worries of paying in inconvenient venues or after office hours.
The last functional requirement is the users shall be able to search types of online services that have been provided on the website. By clicking on the given link, it should provide with further information about the related subject that users are looking for.
Okay, so for the next question, which is possible non-functional requirement. The first one is the website should be portable enough to open by any sort of form of operating system, such as Chrome, Firefox, Windows, Android, or iPhone, without creating any system complication. This is because nowadays our technology has been improved to a next level, and this shall make a user can access the MBKT website wherever they are.
The next possible non-functional requirement is the website shall authenticate themselves using user ID and password to access to any section in the MBKT website.
The third non-functional requirement is the website should have a segment that can know about the total resident of the state, and that can also measure the percentage of local groups.
The next, the website shall provide services in various kind of languages such as Bahasa Melayu, Mandarin, Tamil, and English. Because as we are aware, Malaysia is well known for being a multicultural and multi-ethnic country, where the needs of language in multiple languages are crucial.
Last but not least, the system shall assure that all data inside the system or its part is protected against malware attacks or any unauthorized access. This step should be taken for security purposes.
Okay, so we proceed for our project part 2. We have UI design principle, justification and claims, and type of API. Okay, so for question 2 and 3, we say UI design principle and justification claims. The first UI design principle that be implemented by the MBKT website is user guidance, which is technical interaction or manual that helps the user to use the software or website. So this is the proof. First, MBKT website provide the user guidance at the top of their website. They also have fact session and sitemap. And in order to user filling up the form for the service they offer in the website, they have a manual to guide the user while filling up the form.
Okay, the next user interface design is recoverability. The MBKT website provide a forward and undo preferences for error recovery that done by the user or the system. So this is the undo button and recovery email that the MBKT website provide for the user that might be done any error or might be done by the system itself.
The third UI design is user familiarity. It uses terms that familiar to user to use and can be used by all stage of age. As example, MBKT website using a simple word and it use multi-language like Bahasa Melayu and English.
The next UI design that was implemented in MBKT websites is user diversity. User diversity recognizes that there are various types of users that desire many different levels of interactive system. For instance, MBKT website provided a quick links for the power users who desire to run work more quickly and efficiently. The next thing is MBKT websites does apply a large text and button size to ease the experience for those users who suffers from the disability visually and physically. And last but not least, MBKT websites provide a different color background for visually impaired users.
The last UI design that be implemented in the website is minimal surprise. And the users should not be surprised of the system commands and its behavior. For example, as we can see, the MBKT website interface is simple and more straightforward, while the other websites display more complex interface.
Okay, for the next question is type of API. So the first type is Open API, which application programming interface made freely accessible to software developer, as well as MBKT website, which they access to the system or website without any barrier or any registration to search information for their own need for the public user, the citizen itself.
The next type of API is private API. It is accessible only by the developer and those working with the organization. Only certain type of user can access in the MBKT website.
The third API is composite API. It is a set of tasks that execute synchronously because of execution and not at the request of a machine.
The fourth type of API that was implemented in MBKT website is Partner API. It is a software integration between two parties and commonly being used in a software as a service ecosystem.
The last type of API is Internet API. It is an interface that enables access to an organization's backend information and application functionality for use by the organization's developers. This system is not visible to public.
Okay, for project part 3, we have 3 questions for the individual question. First is verification and validation confidence strategy. Second is factor influence the software post development. Third is handover problem. So for the first one, which is question 2, verification and validation confidence strategy. The first strategy is simulation, which is the implementation of the structure and behavior models to analyze their nature, which, for example, in MBKT website, simulation is used to mimic the behavior of the MBKT website structure and functioning, as well as to overcome their issue and to assist with decision making.
The next V&V confidence strategy is theorem proving. It uses a series of mathematical proof. It also used to determine the correctness of the MBKT website. It uses less time as it uses only system constraints. It is decent in terms of coverage of code.
The third strategy is formal proof. It's verifying that its specification is met by a circuit description, an algorithm, or a network or security protocol. And it also to verify the trueness of a mathematical argument.
In addition to this, we have model checking. Model checking is a technique that allows the users to automatically check the properties and balance in a model of the software. The main aim of the model checking is to intercept as many mistakes as possible.
The last strategy is inspection. It is a visual inspection of a product or system using one or more of the 5 senses of visual, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. It will be able to detect any harms and possible risks at early stage.
Okay, so for the next question, which factors influence software post-development? The first factors is team stability, which is when work is organized and distributed to current teams. In order having a cohesive team for MBKT website, it can fasten the process of the website development itself.
The next factor influence the software post-development in ambiguity website is staff skills. It requires a thorough knowledge of how machine and system operate. In order to adding or changing in requirement, it also requires staff skills. Thus, the lack of staff skills will increase the maintenance cost.
The third factor influence software post development is contractual responsibility. It is a part of a contractual work listing, normally listed. This form of work allows a contract document to be signed.
The next factor influence software post-development is staff skill. Hiring skilled staff would not only guarantee a quality outcome, but at the same time, a well-rounded staff would cut out the labor cost significantly from hiring more staff. The budget allocation for skilled technicians should be considered beforehand because quality should always be over quantity.
The last factor is program age and structure. As programs become older, the structure and its functionality will become less well-suited to website purpose and eventually will stop functioning as it should.
Okay, for the question 4, which is another problem. The first problem is insufficient system knowledge, where the transition takes place between two separate organizations. This problem will impact the implementation process and allow it to be postponed due to the duration of the project in developing of Majlis Bandara Kuala Terengganu website.
The next handover problems that occur in ambiguity website is difficulty in tracking change. Inconsistent system version will results difficulties on tracking the changes made. As in project development, it will involve various teams. Thus, this will affect in extra charge, delays, and charges to the project.
The third problem is lack of domain knowledge. If transferring knowledge of the method is not enough, and the repeating must also possess knowledge of the domain.
In addition to this, we have inadequate documentation. Inadequate documentation is one of the handover problems that were often faced by companies and organizations because it always secondly prioritized and often being put aside due to the pressure of delivering the system right by the due date. Therefore, to cope with this problem, high-end companies and organizations that are well off, often resulting with a hiring professional technician writer for documenting the system.
The last handover problem is insufficient communication. In absence of communication, the maintenance team may decide to correct or modify the program based on wrong assumptions.
Okay, so in our project, in part 2 and part 3, we have a group question that we need to be discussed. So in part 2, question 5, there is 3 types. We required to discuss 3 types of API that might improve our MBKT website functionality or performance. So these are the 3 types of API.
The first type that we choose is the first type of API that we choose is private API. We choose it because it modernized organizational structure, and it is efficiently manage the supply chain.
The next API that might improve our case study is partner API, because two heads are better than one. It will bring more and better ideas and keeping the software in relevant.
The third type of API that was that could be implemented is Open API. Open API eliminate barriers between the interface and clients. Therefore, they can save time through the automation. Open API also promotes speed the product development.
Okay, so for the good question, in part 3 project, we need to derive the laws from lemon laws. So this is the 4 laws that we discussed.
The first Lemons law that derived from the MBKT website is continuing growth. The functional content of an E-type system must be continually increased. The degrade the website itself as it does not satisfy user requirement.
The next laws that we derive from Lehman's law to our MBKT website is continuing change. It is necessarily alter or even become ultimately less effective. The website also should continuously change, follow the newest technical developments.
The third Lemon's law is conservation of familiarity. It maintains the mastery of a system content and its behavior, and the developers still maintain the familiarity of the website without being too complex and complicated.
The final law from Lemon's law that is applicable to our case study is feedback system. It is E-type evaluation system. The developer will be aware about the system issues and taking suitable demanding steps.
Okay, so that's all from our project, project 1, project 2, and project 3. So thank you for Dr. Zina in order to guide us finish the project, and thank you to my teammate. That's all from us. Thank you.